My third night in Venezuela, we heard a concert of Gustavo Dudamel conducting the Teresa Carreño Youth Orchestra. I literally have the hair stand up on the back of my neck. I knew something special was happening with those kids, and with me, and with everybody that was sitting around me. If we can show that we put together a compelling project that encompasses social service and music in one spot here in Philadelphia, we should be able to do it everywhere.
Good morning.
Starting today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Remind me?
Nadir Nelson.
Nadir, I remember.
Right.
You
So
said-
today is the first day.
Right. Did you get a snack? They're right back here. You know what rooms you're in? Katie, you're in the elevator room.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
What instrument do you want to play?
I want to play two of them. I want to play percussion or the flute.
Violin, and I want to play the trumpet.
I would like to play the trumpet.
I want to play the trumpet and the flute.
I really like guitar.
Am I talking or are you talking? I'm talking? The music program's finally here. It's really, really good to see all of you. I want to briefly introduce our teachers.
I think what we're trying to do is teach these kids about being passionate about something. It's about engaging them to realize that they can do much more than they think. You know, that's what keeps me practicing every single day.
Last week, our school nurse came to me on Friday and she said, "Sister, I want you to know that in the past 48 hours there have been 10 shootings, and you know this is going to affect our children." So we have to give the children something better.
I hear all the time about starting a music program in West Philadelphia.
You got it.
And people always ask me, well, do the kids really want to do it? Did anybody sign up for it? And I say, well, 200 families signed up for the program.
That's great. That's perfect. You want to know?
Good, give it a good blow. So, yeah.
So everybody point to Immense, please. Point to your page. I want to see that you know where we're looking. That's it? Immense?
And then C. Wow, Renell, you just played a scale. Did you hear that? That was awesome.
What we're doing is that we're giving them all of the tools they need to get to the point where they realize that they said something that a word can't capture.
Very good, excellent. Can you say it? Wow, that's very good. Very well pronounced. To have a kid learning music is a very valuable thing. I mean, they will do better in everything else. And the main goal is I mean, it doesn't have to become a professional musician. He will be a different person altogether. So the need is there, here and everywhere.
Boom, boom, ba.
So it's like...
How was this week for you?
It was
guys?
awesome. It was awesome. I think it was pretty good. I did everything like I wanted to do, and it was good. It was great.
It was great. It was great. It was awesome.
I think about the time it takes for a child to finally make a connection with their instrument. I think about the amount of time it takes to really win over their parents. Then I think about the time that it will take even for my teachers. And then I think I will need time. I'll need a lot of time.
Wow. You know, the last time I was in this room, I was sitting right back here, and we were performing, I think, Beethoven's Sixth Symphony. There's about 20 minutes of the symphony where the trumpets, we don't play at all, and I fell asleep. So now I feel like I'm being cursed to be right here in front. Wow. Well, I guess there's so many things to talk about. There's so many things that are happening on many different levels with these kids. But pretty much successful adults set goals. They have an understanding of what it takes to be patient and to take an overwhelming task and to break it up into so many different pieces so that they can accomplish it. And these things, you really can't teach it other than through experience, through repetition, of putting together lots of little successes in life. Just found out with this recent census data that came out that among the top 10 largest cities in the United States, Philadelphia ranks the poorest. 1 out of every 3 children live in poverty, and we know what this creates. Many different types of challenges and many different stresses that they have to deal with. So essentially what we're doing through Tune Up Philly is that we're giving these kids the tools that they need to develop to become successful much later on. I kind of want to explain, I guess, my theory of the curiosity gap. And it's the moment anybody becomes curious in something, and then there's a second point when they realize what it takes to accomplish that goal. 2 things happen. Either they run away from it, or they continue down that path to try to accomplish that goal. Much later on, they finally get to the point where they feel like they have accomplished this. Let me concentrate on these first 2 steps. When we went into this school in St. Francis, when you put an instrument in front of a kid's face, they want to touch it, they want to play with it. If you put a microscope, if you put a toy, I mean anything, kids are curious about these things. But by the time they're 8 years old, they start developing senses that tell them, well, maybe I'm good at this or maybe I'm not good at this. By the time they're 14, 15, 16, then they start getting to the point where if they get to the point where they feel like they have, lots of disappointments in their life, they get to that point later where they just automatically shut down. What happens is that we start to bridge this gap the moment that we put the instrument in their hand. Because if we don't do this now, then what happens is that they pick up things that provide instant gratification. At the age of what we work with, there are things in the forms of video games, television, simple toys, simple language. By the time they're teenagers, they start picking up other things that will probably permanently change their life trajectory. They pick up things like drugs, alcohol. They get involved with things like sex. And by this time, they've pretty much lost focus. And then by the time they're adults, then they're still grasping onto things that provide instant gratification. Maybe they don't go to college. Maybe they get a simple job that anybody can do, that they don't make much money, and that cycle continues and continues. If we can put something in their hand now, if we can set the appropriate level of challenges, then what happens is that these kids start to develop, well, maybe I can do something. We can turn that curiosity and help them get to that second step where they either make one of those 2 choices, hopefully to stick with the program. But the moment the curriculum, what we're presenting them, is out of balance, that's the moment that they either quit because it's too easy or it's too hard. But we can't have that impact with simply 45 minutes a year, and we go in and we perform and they become lifelong learners, lovers of the art. We can't do that with once a month. We can't do that with once a week. It's not good enough. And our philosophy is about bringing in the very best resources for these kids, the best instruments, the best teachers, ultimately putting them in the best venues here in the city, hopefully in later years all around the country and all around the world, so that they can start to build the necessary skills that they need to be successful. This can beautifully be accomplished through music, because every day we work with them, we can present a new challenge to them at the beginning of the class that they can't do. We have someone there to lead them through this process and make sure that those appropriate steps are in place. And these are skills that they can build every day, even if they're simply holding the bow better, or if they have formed their embouchure, their mouth muscles a little bit better. These are things that they can grasp. But of course, we can only do that with the type of intensity. It's not about producing more musicians. I'll be the first one to tell anybody, do not think that you're going to become a professional musician, everybody will love you, and you'll make lots of money. It still hasn't worked for me. Oh, well, kind of. So, what we're advocating for are these kids to develop passion for something, to develop the focus that they need to eventually get to these goals. And this is what they can do through music. So I can talk about this all day long, but I think that the best thing that I can do to show you what we're doing is to simply have the kids perform for you. So, they're not here yet. What you're going to see, they're going to perform Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I thought I would never be excited to see or hear Twinkle, Twinkle ever in my life. However, they're going to play the theme for you, and they're going to play a couple of variations. Within every single one of these variations, they're displaying a different fundamental that they are developing on their instrument. And that stands for pretty much every single fundamental that they will need for the rest of their lives. And if we're able to continue to do this and to show the impact of this program, then we should be able to do this everywhere. So the kids are nervous, okay? But I want you to give them the biggest and warmest welcome possible and help bring them out onto the stage.